These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Mark Z via PDK. Question: will the situation in Afghanistan change anything timing-wise? No, I see the situation in Afghanistan speeding up, at least the reinstatement of the value for the Iraqi dinar. I think they are terrified of a lack of security in the region because they have not moved forward with the reinstatement. It is causing a lot of tension. They run the risk of losing control of the government that is now in place in Iraq. So, if anything, it should speed this up, at least on the reinstatement of the dinar, if they would go ahead and pull that trigger and not the entire GCR for now. Maybe we could at least see Iraq moving forward. Still great chatter out of Iraq, and they are geared up for it. They could pull that trigger at any moment. It would not surprise me to get that call. All right, Mountain Goat says the news this period is all about implementing the white paper. The good news is on Wednesday, Finance Minister Ali Abdel Amir Alawi set the priorities of the white paper. The Minister of Finance continues to stress that one of the priorities of the white paper is the reform of financial management systems. How can they do this without reforming the currency too? As I explained before, the CBI is moving ahead with the planning for a January 2022 statement. Will they do it? Can they do it? All right, Militiaman says the exchange rate will remain for the same for the next 5 years. At a program rate, that's not what they're talking about as far as I'm concerned, because that's this phase. The next phase is going international. This is not an this is not an internal revaluation. It's going to be an external reinstatement revaluation. In my opinion, that's why they told us they were going to have a directed or a managed float for 5 years. This is actually knock it out of the park big as far as I'm concerned. If they keep it stable, that's good for you, me, and everybody. Right, Wendy O, question: what do you see the future of crypto and the NFT non-fungible token sector being like in the next 5 years? How active do you think it will become in your day-to-day life? It's going to be insane. I mean, NFT is going to be a game changer in healthcare, real estate, for artists, for musicians. Think of anything that you need to prove ownership of, like a will, legal documents. It provides real ownership of, like a will, legal documents, and I think that's a very powerful tool for people. My daughter is so cool. She loves this show called Gunsmoke. It's an old cowboy western. I was watching an episode with her, and when these people came to the West, there was a couple. They spoke English, but they weren't able to read. They purchased a piece of property, but they were never given a deed because they couldn't read, so they had to get the sheriff involved. The sheriff was like, you don't have a deed, and the couple are like, we can't read. Why would we get a deed? That goes to show you how important documents are, proof of ownership for things, even though it's like way back in the wild, wild west. If you have an NFT to prove ownership that you own this land or property, it would be yours forever. All right, Mark Z, question: is it possible tomorrow could be the RV day? Mark Z says absolutely. Any minute now is fair game as we move forward, in my opinion. Fleming update says the sovereign nation state of Iraq is now a settled nation with one currency. Kuwait had their debt settled, their agreement settled under the World Court in cooperation with the IMF, and the Kuwait dinar rate of $3.85, the national rate to start. The rate of Iraqi dinar will shoot straight up like a rocket ship. It's all happened and is now a fait accompli. Congratulations to the sovereign people of Iraq. This happy news will be announced to the world shortly. All right, Frank 26 says Iraq is primed. They're already there. They're announcing it. They've worked well with the international world, and now they're working with the citizens to get them primed and ready to go as well, because once they hand them the new currency and the new rate, oh boy, it cannot fail. They're doing a great job. Iraq is back. Iraq is a sovereign country. Iraq is no longer sanctioned. Stop worrying about this. You can see that it's happening. All right, lastly, Mark Z via PDK, no money movement, but we have very good chatter right now. My two Redemption Center contacts say they're on call in hopes of being called in this weekend. They're looking for a very busy week this next week. Some folks are looking as far out as mid-September for the RV. I am not. None of my sources are hearing that at all. They all think it is sooner rather than later.